Hey nerds, it's Gleemax. Today I'm looking to ask and answer one simple question. Can I beat Pokemon Fire Red with only a single Duskull? Duskull is a pure ghost type and is my favorite Pokemon, but its stats aren't great. Its base stat total is only 295, which is higher than a Pidgey, but lower than a first form starter like Charmander. Its best stats are Special Defense and Defense. Its moveset is not great either, knowing only Nightshade as a damaging move until level 16, and getting its only non-ghost type attacking move at level 27. However, by TM it can learn a lot of moves. I am mostly hoping to avoid using double team to win, but that might be inevitable. Before we begin, leave a comment saying whether or not you think Duskull can win this run. I am confident I can do it, but I think I may have to be level 100 to beat the champion rival fight. My rules are in the description, but essentially I can only use Duskull for battles, I cannot use items in battle as well, and I get to capture Pokemon for outside of combat uses like HM moves. Alright, let's begin. First off, I use a randomizer to replace Duskull with Bulbasaur. I replace Bulbasaur so our rival gets Squirtle. That way the rival gets two Pokemon with Bite and Intimidate in the final battle, adding to the challenge. I name my Duskull Moo, that's my cat's name, and I always name it after my cats. The first battle with our rival cannot be lost. We are a ghost type and Dum Dum only has normal type attacking moves. We spam Nightshade and win. I encounter a wild Rattata and realize that because of the ghost typing of my only attacking move, I can't battle any Pokemon prior to the bugs in Viridian Forest. So I rush through delivering Oak's Parcel and quickly head to Viridian Forest. I end up battling all the trainers in the forest. Nightshade deals damage equal to our level, so while it doesn't benefit directly from stat increases, the added levels will help us take down Brock a lot faster. Speaking of Brock, he's our first trainer battle that has any chance of actually defeating us. He leads with a Geodude that can't hurt us. I spam Nightshade while he tries to use Defense Curl. I level up to 13 and Onix comes out. It misses the first Rock Tomb and gets chunked by a Nightshade. The second Rock Tomb connects and lowers our speed, while the second Nightshade brings us down to about a fourth. Onix is faster now and lands another Rock Tomb, but it's not enough and one final Nightshade takes it out. We get the Boulder Badge from Brock after one attempt and level up to 14 in the process. We next pick up the running shoes and head out to Mount Moon. We have to be very careful about which trainers we fight. Anything with a normal type is avoided as our only damaging move, Nightshade, can't actually damage them. I thought Foresight would circumvent this, but when I tried it on this trainer with a Pidgey, it didn't work. So right now, Foresight's a dead move. We did pick up Astonish at level 16, which is also Ghost type. This doesn't help with hitting normal type Pokemon, but it is another attacking move and lets us get rid of the useless Foresight. We quickly heal up at the Poke Center outside of Mount Moon and prepare to go in. There is one mandatory fight that is normal type in Mount Moon, so I have to be smart and plan out my power points. I end up fighting a bunch of trainers and use up all of my PP. I make it to the mandatory Team Rocket grunt with a Rattata. I had previously found a Geodude and wasted all my power points except for 1 point in Leer. This way I can start the fight with Leer to lower the Rattata's defense and make taking it down with Struggle much easier. I felt really smart after that one. 2 struggles took it down and he sent out a Zubat. It missed twice with Supersonic and got 3 Astonishes in, flinching me twice. On the last one, it went down to 1 health and I took it out. That was much closer than I thought. I use an escape rope and I run back in. After defeating this nerd, I take the Helix Fossil. I knew if I didn't say which one I took, you'd all ask. Now that I think about it, everyone asks anyway. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Shout out to MDB for this joke. I look forward to when he changes it up and people lose their minds. Outside of Mount Moon, my heart drops as I realize I can't learn Mega Punch nor Mega Kick, and the rival battle will be a lot harder as a result. In Cerulean, I take out all the trainers in Misty's gym for some quick experience points before challenging Misty. On my first attempt, I take out Staryu and 2 Nightshades after a waste time using Harden, but once Starmie comes out, I am done. Its Water Pulse is too strong and my Nightshades aren't doing nearly enough damage. I decide to throw myself against Misty again and again. The experience points from Staryu are much better than grinding wild Pokemon in the single grass patch I have available to me, and I can level up while making attempts. At level 23, I learn Confuse Ray. However, I decide to make real attempts again. On the very first attempt with Confuse Ray, Starmie hits itself in Confusion twice, allowing me to get in the 3 Nightshades I need for the Cascade Badge win. In total, it was 13 attempts, with most of which being grinding against Misty Staryu for experience points, and at the end, Duskull is level 24. Before I face my rival again, I decide to grind, and I try the fight at level 25. Like before, I have manipulated my power points this time, coming into the fight with one Confuse Ray before having to use Struggle. Unfortunately, Pidgeotto uses Sand Attack each time I attempt this method, and on the occasions I get to his Abra and his Squirtle, I simply don't have the HP to last until the end of the fight. The luck required for this method to work is insane, so I reluctantly grind to level 27 to learn Pursuit. Pursuit is a base 40 power dark move. It's not much, but it can hit Pidgeotto. My first attempt with Pursuit goes well. Pidgeotto uses Sand Attack while I confuse it, but the Sand Attacks pile up quick and my HP gets whittled down. I can't believe this level 17 Pigeon is giving me so many issues. On my winning attempt, I get Pidgeotto down while having above half health. Abra comes out and can't fight back, so I take it down in 2 hits. Squirtle is out and I outspeed it, using Nightshade to bring it into yellow health as he uses Withdrawal. I then use Nightshade for an easy knockout. Last up is Rattata, which I confuse, hoping for some passive damage with Pursuit, taking it out. It can't hit me, so this battle is quickly over. That Pidgeotto is such a hassle, and I was 10 levels above it. This is going to be difficult. I make my way through Nugget Bridge, feeling overleveled, so I skip some trainers on the way to Bill's house. I do pick up the Secret Power TM, a base 70 power normal type move that has the ability to cause side effects. That's not really the point of the move for Duskull though, I just need a spammable normal type damaging move and this fits the bill. Speaking of Bill, Bill has digifused with a Pokemon and I help him out in his horrific mad scientist experiments to turn him back into a human. You ever wonder where the Pokemon half of him went? For doing this, I get tickets to the SS and cruise. I book it down to Vermilion City, stopping to catch 5 Meowths along the way. They can't be used in battle, but they are in my party for their pickup ability, which may find me items to use. Plus, they can use Cut as well. I proceed to Vermilion and head straight for the SS Anne, winning as many trainers as possible. Duskull is level 30 and has had a significant power increase since the last time we did the rival fight. I am very curious as to whether or not I can take him down now that I have secret power. Rival fight number 3, he leads with the Pidgeotto again, starting with a weak Gust. I use secret power for half his HP and getting a paralyze off it as well. I didn't know that was a thing. Duskull is now faster and a second secret power brings it down to a couple pixels of HP. It loses its turn to paralysis and Pursuit takes it down. That felt great. Next up is Wartortle, which is faster but only uses Withdrawal. Our Nightshade brings it into yellow health and it bites us. We don't get flinched and a second Nightshade takes it out. Kadabra's out and outspeeds us, getting a disable off on our Nightshade. I went for Pursuit and it's super effective and it does about half. He uses Confusion but hardly does anything as we take it down with a second Pursuit. Last up is Raticate, but it can't actually hit us with any moves, so we use Secret Power while it uses Tail Whip. That battle was immensely satisfying. Only one attempt and we ended at level 32. We head upstairs and rub down an old man. He gives us the ability to cut things in exchange. Seems legit. We run into Lieutenant Surge's gym. Yes, Lieutenant, I'm Canadian. And struggle against the stupid trash puzzle. Seriously, I never liked this and I always mess it up. Eventually, I get the puzzle solved and battle the mandatory old man trainer. Lieutenant Surge is super easy. I am definitely over leveled for this fight though. Voltorb is out first and screeches twice and goes down in 2 secret powers. Next up is Pikachu, that is only level 18. It starts out by using Double Team, but that doesn't save it from a single secret power. Lastly, Lieutenant Surge sends out Raichu. It uses Double Team to start raising its evasion. We missed our first secret power as he builds a second Double Team. The second secret power lands and paralyzes Raichu. We go for Nightshade while Surge uses a full heal on Raichu to get rid of the paralysis. Nightshade lands, bringing him to red. We go for another Nightshade and he heals with a potion. Surge lands a Shockwave for decent damage, but our final Nightshade takes him out. We beat Surge in a single attempt and level up to 33. While in Vermilion, we listen to an old guy talk about his Rapidash and get a free bike voucher for our trouble. We make our way to Cerulean and cash it in for a bike, which lets us get around a lot faster. From here, we make our way to Dark Cave. I looked up a map for the cave so I can get through it without flash. I never pick up that HM because you only need it for this one part, and honestly you can get through the cave without it. I'm just going to skip ahead to Lavender Town. In Lavender Town we head for Pokemon Tower rival fight. This fight tends to be easier and I'm already here so I might as well do it. It ends up taking me 6 attempts. I got really bad luck with Pidgeotto's sand attacks ruining my accuracy. Growlithe having insanely good burn luck and Execute putting me to sleep as well did not help. On my winning attempt, I did get decent luck. Pidgeotto starts out with Gust, my secret power lands and paralyzes, giving me a speed advantage. I hit a Confuse Ray to compound on the paralysis. He hits himself in confusion on the same turn, a secret power bringing him to a few pixels of HP as he loses his turn to paralysis. One more hit and I finished Pidgeotto without an accuracy drop and high health. Wartortle is out, I outspeed and start the fight with a Nightshade for over half his HP. He lands a weak bite, one more Nightshade takes it down. Growlithe is next. His Intimidate cuts my attack. This won't affect Nightshade, but Ghost is physical in this generation and this will be an issue later on. He uses Emperor and doesn't get a burn. Perfect. One more Nightshade and I'm above half HP, going into Execute. I decide that Nightshade is the most consistent damage I have, so I keep using it. Thankfully, Hypnosis misses, allowing us to quickly take down Dum Dum's breakfast. Lastly is Kadabra. I use Pursuit as he disables my Nightshade, so I lose my turn. I switch to Secret Power and he lands a Confusion. For the second time this fight, Secret Power paralyzes. His Synchronize ability also paralyzes me, however. He gets one more Confusion in and I land a Secret Power for the win. I really am hating these accuracy drops. They're adding a lot of RNG to the battles. Duskull is slow, so I doubt I will ever outspeed his Pidgeot. I am going to need an electric, ice, or rock type move to handle it quickly. Making my way to Celadon, I have a lot of things to get here. First, the T, to grant me access to Saffron City and the Psychic TM, the department store for shopping, and the Fly HM. I already beat Surge, so I quickly catch a Doduo and teach it Fly. Why a Doduo? Because imagining it flying is hilarious. I head for the Grass Gym, expecting it to be easy. In hindsight, I should have gone for the Psychic TM prior to fighting Erica, but whatever. I lost a lot to Erica, mostly due to her Victory Bell. It will either poison me or paralyze, which means I have to get lucky with what kind of berry I'm holding. I stick with the Poison Cure berry, but it doesn't help too much. Confuse Ray helped a lot in the winning fight though. Victory Bell starts out by trying to poison me, and it instantly gets cured with my berry. I confuse it, and it starts its next turn with a Giga Drain, which does some damage. Secret Power does next to nothing, so I go back to spamming Nightshade. She hits herself in confusion and goes into red health. Erica then Hyper Potions as I use Secret Power, hoping for a Paralyze. She again hits herself and lands in red after a Nightshade. On her last turn, she Giga Drains for about 20 damage, but doesn't heal enough to survive the Nightshade. Next out is Tangela, but it's a bad Pokemon and goes down quickly to 2 Nightshades. It got off a weak Giga Drain. Lastly, Vileplume. I take no chances and confuse it. I surprisingly outspeed and it hits itself in confusion. I go for Nightshade and she uses a full heal on confusion. I confuse it again, but it manages to hit Stun Spore. I go for Nightshade and it hurts itself in confusion. Nightshade lands and after 9 attempts, I have the Rainbow Badge with Moo being level 39. After healing up, I bike over to Saffron and grab the Psychic TM. This is a strong special attack and I will have it for the rest of the run. I replaced the low power Pursuit to make room for it. I then head to Lavender Town. I realized that I didn't pick up the Self Scope, so I quickly run to the Game Chamber and beat up a load of weak rocket grunts. These guys aren't hard by any stretch of the imagination, and I eventually make it past the floor puzzles and fight Giovanni for the first time. This Giovanni fight was super easy. He leads with an Onix that uses Harden, a Nightshade for big damage, and he actually switches out and brings out Kangaskhan. Nightshade does nothing to it, and I switch to Secret Power as he tail whips me. I do very little damage, but I do get a paralysis. Now that I outspeed, I confuse it for some passive damage. It loses its turn, and I go for Psychic. That too is doing very little damage. Not only does he land a bite, but it crits for about half my health. I crit back with a Secret Power, and he lands another bite. I confuse it again, not confident that I can actually finish off the fight. It lands another bite as my Secret Power leaves it with a shred of HP. Thankfully, it hurts itself in confusion and goes down. That was an ordeal. Onix is back out, but I don't think it can hurt me. It takes one Nightshade and goes down. Lastly is Rhyhorn. I Nightshade as it tail whips. Another Nightshade, and the fight is over. First try victory, but man, Kangaskhan is a monster. I heal up and head to the Pokemon Tower to rescue Mr. Fuji and get the Pokeflute. I decide to battle a bunch of the trainers here. I can one-shot them with Psychic, and after Erica and Giovanni, I feel I need some levels. I encounter the Ghost Marowak and realize I can't run from it and have to take it down. Yeah, you can't catch it. I always thought you could. Meh. I have Levitate, and it can't hurt me. Once all the rocket grunts are cleared out, Mr. Fuji brings me home with him and lets me play with his flute. I decide to ride down to Fuchsia City on the east side and not take the bicycle road path. I avoid trainers wanting to save them for later if needed. I encounter Snorlax and run away from it. Dude was just napping, why would I bother him more? Eventually I make it to Fuchsia City. I have Psychic and I'm confident I can easily take on the Poison Gym. Then the first trainer in the gym almost takes me out with his lone Hypno. Nice. I clear out his gym for some decent XP and take on Koga. On my first attempt, I quickly go down to Toxic and his super tanky Muck. On the second attempt, he didn't get a chance to use Toxic. I one-shot his Coughing with a Psychic. Next up is Muck. I land a Confuse Ray and he loses his turn and hurts himself. I land a Psychic and again he hurts himself. I Psychic again and he lands a Sludge, but doesn't get the poison. Koga uses a Hyper Potion. I predicted this and went for Confuse Ray, only for it to do nothing because his Confusion hasn't dropped yet. Again, I Psychic and he luckily loses another turn. Another Psychic and he snaps out of Confusion, then uses Minimize. This is bad. Thankfully Nightshade lands and I take out his Muck. Coughing number 2 gets one shot by a critical Psychic. Lastly is Wheezing. He lands a critical Sludge and gets the poison, but my berry cures it, while I get off a Confuse Ray. The cheat then uses a full heal on Confusion as I go for Psychic. Does about half. I Psychic again. Apparently we speed tie and I got the first hit in. It even lowers his special defense. He lands another Sludge, bringing me dangerously low. The cheat then uses another Hyper Potion. My Psychic lands and brings him down to about a third health. He sludges me, bringing me down to only 22 HP before going down. Who knew ninjas were such cheats? It was only 2 attempts and Moo is level 47 at the end of the fight. To progress, I will need some HMs. So I sprint through the Safari Zone and get the Gold Teeth and the Surf HM. Next up, I have the Rival Fivel fight. Thanks for that, J-Rose. Or Sabrina or Blaine. I think the Rival fight would be the easiest, but Cinnabar has the Blizzard TM and I really want that for Pidgeot. I turn into Gold Teeth and head to Saffron to take on Dum Dum. This place is a maze, but if you know where to go, it's actually a really short trip through with only one mandatory fight. I make several attempts, but his Pidgeot is too strong. I can't do enough damage to it. Confusion is unreliable at this point and I need a better move. I leave and train at the dojo for some XP and grab a Hitmonlee for a temporary strength user. Lapras will take this role later on after I beat Rival Fivel. I surf south of Palatown and reach Cinnabar Island. I heal up and run through the mansion. The switch puzzles here aren't hard either, and I pick up the key to Blaine's gym as well as the Blizzard TM. While I battle my way through his gym, you ever wonder why Blaine keeps himself locked in the gym with a bunch of other people? It's pretty strange. I attempt Blaine once, and this fight isn't possible at the moment. His Growlithe and Arcanine both have Intimidate. I'm only 10 levels above them, and a single Fire Blast hits me for 40% of my HP from his Growlithe. Nightshade can two-shot it, but once Arcanine is out, it outspeeds and can destroy me with a single bite. I decide I need to put this fight on hold until later. I have Blizzard now. Let's see if I can do the rival fight. I don't do much better. I can often make it to Blastoise now, with Blizzard taking out Pidgeotto, but it's way too tanky and its bite does too much damage for me to contend with. I decided to start grinding. I take out the eastern path leading to Fuchsia City and stop by Celadon to convert money into coins and pick up the Shadow Ball TM. This is a much stronger same type attack bonus ghost move that I can spam while grinding and give me a high damage physical attack for Alakazam later. After grinding to 58 and some more attempts at Rival Fivel, I get this run. Pidgeot is out and wing attacks for 14 damage as I blizzard it down to about 5%. He then withdraws Pidgeot and sends out Blastoise, which eats a secret power. The paralysis kicks in and I think I might have a shot. I go for Shadow Ball, which does minor damage. He bites for a good amount and I Shadow Ball again. He gets another bite in and at low HP he starts using Protect. The first one keeps him alive, but he goes down in the second turn. The Fluttering Disease Bag is back out and lands a wing attack before going down. I'm at very low HP. Next out is Growlithe, which lowers my attack with Intimidate. I decide to use Psychic to bring him below half health as he Flame Wheels me to 19 health. One more Psychic takes him down. Execute is out, but Blizzard thankfully hits and one-shots it. Last is Alakazam. I Shadow Ball. My attack is down, but with the stab and the fact that it's a physical move, I hope for a one-shot. He gets off a Future Sight, and I thankfully crit and get the win. That was a brutal 18 attempts on this fight. I did not want to grind anymore. I pick up Lapras, heal up, and head to Giovanni. After the slog that was Rival Fivel, Giovanni is a cakewalk. He leads with a Nidorino. I Shadow Ball and he lands a Poison Sting for only 2 damage. I use Psychic and take it down. Rhyhorn is next, but it falls to a single blizzard. He sends out Nidoqueen and it outspeeds me, but all it can do is poison sting me for 2 more damage, 1 psychic, and it doesn't even go to 50% health. It then starts using Tail Whip and I use psychic twice more to bring it down. Last up, Kangaskhan. It starts with a Tail Whip as I use Secret Power, hoping for a paralysis. We go back and forth and it's clear he doesn't have a move that can damage me and eventually goes down. This was a first try win and I end the second Giovanni fight at level 59. That was so much easier than the rival fight, good lord. I get a Master Ball from the company president and head to Sabrina's gym. I again look up a guide to the puzzle because I suck at these and I want to just fight Sabrina. First up is Kadabra. It uses Calm Mind and goes down to a Shadow Ball. Neat, okay. Next is Mr. Mime, which I one-shot with a Shadow Ball. Okay, cool. Venomoth is up next. It's not a Psychic type, so I don't know why she has it. One critical Psychic takes it out. Doing good. Last is Alakazam. It Calm Minds to boost its special attack and special defense, and falls to, you guessed it, a single Shadow Ball. I really should have done this gym for experience points instead of the trainers next to Fuchsia City, but oh well. Back to losing against Blaine. After having a lot of trouble with Blaine, I decided to grind up a bit and start making actual attempts at level 65. Intimidate really hurts and he gets 2 Pokemon with it. I lose pretty hard still. His Arcanine is a beast and hits way too hard. I go grind up again to 68 and try the fight. At this point, I outspeed Growlithe and I can reliably take it down. But Arcanine is next and Fire Blasts me down very easily. Even on this attempt where he misses twice, I can't take it out. I really don't want to, but I think I might have to try Double Team. Or I would if I didn't pick up the Calm Mind TM from Sabrina. If I can build up enough of these Calm Minds, I should be able to survive long enough to take down his team. On my first attempt with it, it goes amazingly. Growlithe is out first and I start building Calm Minds. I outspeed, so his Fire Blasts do next to nothing. With 2 built out, I hit Psychic for a one-shot. Arcanine is next and I'm worried. It outspeeds but misses its Fire Blast, letting me get a Psychic in. It does over half and I go for another Psychic, taking a Fire Blast in the process. Next up is Ponyta, which Fire Blasts me but goes down to 1 Psychic. And Rapidash is out last. Like everything else, it Fire Blasts me and goes down to a shred of HP off 1 Psychic. Blaine heals it, but I keep the Psychics up and eventually take it down. I don't even think I over-leveled that fight. I could have died if Arcanine's first Fire Blast didn't miss. With 27 attempts at Blaine done, I can finally move on to Giovanni. I waste no time and fly over to Viridian City. I take out everyone in his gym and start the fight with Giovanni. I'm ready to progress after Blaine being such a wall. First up is Rhyhorn. I take the opportunity to Calm Mind twice as he lowers my speed with Scary Face twice. He attempts to Rock Blast but misses and goes down in 1 blizzard. Next up is Dugtrio. It can't hurt me and goes down in another blizzard. Nidoqueen outspeeds me and lands a 2 damage Poison Sting and it goes down to a single Psychic. Nidoking comes out and lands another 2 damage Poison Sting. It too goes down to a single Psychic. Last up is another Rhyhorn. It goes down in 1 blizzard. I thought he had a Rhydon. Maybe that was Gen 1. Whatever. This fight was stupid easy. We can move on to our semi-last rival fight. First up is the Pigeon. It feather dances as I use Calm Mind. I don't really plan to use physical attacks anyway, so that's not too bad. It wing attacks as I continue building my Calm Minds. Eventually I get 3 in and hit Blizzard for a one-shot. Next up is Blastoise. It makes it rain while I crit with a Psychic. It then bites me, but since I don't flinch, it goes down. Rhyhorn is next, and I miss with a Blizzard, and it nails me with a 3-turn Rock Blast. Blizzard misses again, and Rhyhorn hits another Rock Blast. I'm at 9 HP. Once again, Blizzard misses, and I go down to Rhyhorn of all things. I get mad and come back after getting Ice Beam. It's weaker in power but has 100 accuracy and that matters much more to me. I take on Dum Dum again. Pidgeot is out and I start building my Calm Minds. Its wing attacks aren't threatening enough. I get 3 Calm Minds in before I Ice Beam. My HP is nice and I one-shot the bird. Blastoise is out, he makes it rain again and I hit Psychic, doing a surprisingly small amount of damage. Next round it bites Moo and Moo flinches. Another bite and Psychic brings him into the red. I Calm Mind expecting him to heal, but I get punished with another bite. Bite is a special move in this generation, so the Calm Minds do help protect against it. It bites one last time and I Psychic to bring it down. Rhyhorn is out and our Ice Beam hits it for an easy one-shot. I'm so glad that hit. I ding to level 72 and Growlithe is out. It goes down in 1 Psychic. Next up is Execute, but I thankfully outspeed it and one-shot it with an Ice Beam. Last up is Alakazam. It goes for Disable and gets Ice Beam, but I switch to Shadow Ball and take it down easily. That was very close. I don't think I could have done better there. Alright, after that battle, we have the Elite Four up next. Going in, I think my hardest encounters are going to be with Lorelei, Lance, and the rival battle. Lorelei has all ice types, and I can't learn anything to help against that. I am hoping her Dugong will let me build up Calm Minds and not hit me too hard. Lance, I should be able to sweep with Ice Beam if I can set it up, but his team is fast and has ludicrous stats, as well as Gyarados being only neutrally damaged by Ice Beam. And the rival fight has Pidgeot, and that stupid bird has been my bane for this entire run. Blastoise also easily tanks all of our moves, so that's going to be a challenge as well. After a quick jaunt through Victory Road, we finally arrive at the Indigo Plateau. My first battle versus Lorelei is awful. Her Dugong is first and it's a tank. It hits me with Surf as I try to build up Calm Minds. I eventually get 2 Calm Minds built up before going for a Psychic. It doesn't even do half its HP in damage. She starts Hail, and that spells the end for me. Dugong then safeguards as I use Psychic. She heals Dugong with a full restore as I desperately try to build more Calm Minds. Eventually it freezes me and I lose. I decide the best thing I can do right now is to get the Leftovers Held item. It will provide me with some passive healing, and I hope will help me stay alive long enough to get through the battle. It's either that or overlevel, and honestly I'd prefer to use the item. I use the item finder and pick up the Leftovers item. I then fly back to the Indigo Plateau and start the Lorelei battle again. Once again, Lorelei leads with Dugong. It Ice Beams and I begin to set up Calm Minds. With a combination of Leftover healing me and the Calm Minds increasing my special defense, I get set up very well. She makes it Hail, and that effectively will nullify the Leftovers for a few turns. I continue and build up all 6 Calm Minds before I start attacking. I then get frozen on the first turn that I could possibly attack. Leftovers keeps me healthy as Dugong lands pitiful attacks. Eventually it does crit me for some huge damage though. I have her between 3 and 12 HP as she goes for Safeguard instead of finishing me off. Hail stops, I defrost and don't even one-shot the Dugong. I do however lower its special, but come on, I have 6 Calm Minds built up. She full restores and I take it down thanks to the lowered special defense. What an agonizing first Pokemon. Lapras is out next and I outspeed it. Again, I can't one-shot it despite the 6 Calm Minds. Her Ice Beam hits for almost nothing and she gets taken out with a Psychic. Cloyster's up next and it uses Protect for 2 turns. Eventually it sets up another Hail and goes down to another Psychic. Slowbro is last and we're both being damaged by Hail. I Shadow Ball as it surfs. She full restores and I Shadow Ball it again. One more Shadow Ball and I take it down. I forgot Jinx existed. It gets in a free Ice Punch but is quickly taken out. Lorelei was brutal. Much harder than I thought it was going to be. She was 4 attempts total. I quickly heal up with items outside the battle and move on to Bruno. Bruno is actually kind of sad. He leads with Onyx and that can Iron Tail me for 12 damage, but all I have to do is build up Calm Minds. I get 4 Calm Minds in total and start sweeping. Ice Beam on Onyx, Hitmonchan Rock Tombs us but goes down in 1 Psychic. Onyx number 2 is out and gets in an Iron Tail but gets crit in the process. Machamp is next and it uses Bulk Up but falls to 1 Psychic. And last is Hitmonlee, which uses Foresight and goes down to 1 Psychic. That was quick. Sorry Bruno. Your team is awful. Agatha is next, but her entire team is Poison type, so I feel good about this one. First, Gengar getting in a Shadow Punch as I build Calm Minds. Leftover healing is great in this fight. It uses Double Team and I miss the first Psychic. This could be bad. It gets in another Shadow Punch, but my second Psychic lands and one-shots it. Her second Gengar is out and immediately puts me to sleep. It uses Nightmare, but we immediately wake up and Psychic it down. That was a close call. Golbat is next and I Calm Mind again for safety. It uses Air Cutter, which doesn't do much damage, and it goes down to 1 Ice Beam. Next out is Arbok, but it only gets in an Iron Tail before fainting. Last up is her Haunter, which uses Curse, but my Psychic takes it out before the Curse can do anything. That was a first attempt victory at both Bruno and Agatha. Maybe I am over levels for this. Maybe Leftovers is too good. I don't know. Let's see how Lance is. Once I get to Lance, I realize Gyarados is a brick wall. Often he just uses Dragon Rage, a move that always hits for exactly 40 damage, and even with my passive healing, I can't build up enough Calm Minds to take him out before he just wins with Dragon Rage. I keep trying and hoping he uses Bite instead of Dragon Rage, but it's not happening. On this attempt, I get Dragon Rage used on me twice while I get 2 Calm Minds in. Gyarados then bites while I land a weak Ice Beam. On the following turn it goes back to Dragon Rage. My Ice Beam brings it into red health and Lance heals it, letting me get in another free Ice Beam. I finally get it to freeze solid. This was what I was hoping for. As soon as it's frozen, I start building more Calm Minds while healing with my leftovers. Through luck, I get in my 5th Calm Mind as he wakes up and Gyarados goes down to 1 Psychic. Aerodactyl is next and easily outspeeds me and uses Ancient Power. It goes down in 1 critical Ice Beam. Dragonite's up next and it lands a Wing Attack to put me in red health, but Ice Beam is too much for it as well. Dragonair is next and its Outrage does nothing as I keep up the Ice Beams. Lastly, he has a second Dragonair that uses Safeguard futilely before it goes down. In total, that was 6 attempts on Lance, and we have 1 battle left. Gyarados proved to be a huge brick wall for us. The last fight is the Pokemon Champion Rival Fight. Let's do this. Pidgeot is out first. It uses Aerial Ace as we use Calm Mind. It decimates our attack with a Feather Dance as we get the second Calm Mind in. My heart sinks as it lands a Sand Attack. I thought by now it wouldn't know Sand Attack, and I get worried. We build more Calm Minds, but this is going to be awful. Leftovers heal us to full, so Pidgeot goes for another Aerial Ace as our 4th Calm Mind goes through. I decide that we can't afford more Sand Attacks, and I just take out Pidgeot with Ice Beam. We only have built up 4 Calm Minds as Arcanine comes out. It flamethrowers us for a bit. The special defense increase from Calm Mind is helping out, but we miss our Psychic. A second flamethrower hits as we land Psychic, bringing it down to about a 3rd health. One last flamethrower as we take it out with Psychic. Blastoise is next. I decide to finish building my Calm Minds. It lands a Hydro Pump for a chunk of damage as our 5th Calm Mind goes up. Thankfully, Blastoise just uses Rain Dance as we get our 6th and final Calm Mind in. It Hydro Pumps for a bit of damage and Psychic nails him into yellow health. He heals off a berry, though it's not enough. Our Psychic finishes him off. Alakazam is out. Our attack is down 3 stages at this point, so this is going to be rough. It sends out a Future Sight as we Shadow Ball. Sadly, we miss. It sets up a Reflect and Shadow Ball lands for less than a quarter of his HP. Those stat drops really hurt. However, Shadow Ball does lower his special defense. It tries Future Sight again, but that does absolutely nothing. As Future Sight does not stack, we use Ice Beam and go for a knockout. We get it, thankfully, and he sends out Exeggutor. Future Sight then lands and does next to no damage. We outspeed, but our Ice Beam misses Exeggutor. He lands a Sleep Powder and starts using Giga Drains. This goes on for a few turns, but the passive healing from leftovers keeps us alive until we wake up and one-shot it with an Ice Beam. His last Pokemon is out and it's a Rhydon, but it can't stand a single Ice Beam and goes down. And with that done, we have beaten Pokemon Fire Red with just 1 Duskull. That was a lot of fun. It was challenging at times and I had to get creative with my moves at many different points, but we managed to do it. I'm so glad I picked Duskull to do my first solo challenge run with. It's my favorite Pokemon and its unique moves and typing really added an additional layer of challenge to the run. Let me know what you guys thought of the run. Remember to like the video if you liked it and subscribe for more content. We've also done Let's Plays on the channel, including Pokemon Randomizer runs, so check them out as well. Later, nerds.
Alright, nerds, that's it for today. Always remember to subscribe if you're new. Please leave us a nice like and also leave a comment. Other than that, guys, have a great day.